I want to go to Israel now and catch up with my great friend and Sky News host Sharri Markson, who's been doing some fantastic reporting and hosting a show from the ground in Jerusalem. It's morning again in Israel. Good to talk to you, Sharri. I've got to ask for you to recount for our viewers who might not have seen this earlier today. Yesterday, your time, overnight our time, you came face to face with the threats and uncertainty that Israelis live with now every day.
Exactly right. This is what Israel has to deal with on a daily basis. You know, Chris, in the media, particularly the ABC, you've been speaking about Paul Barry. Well, the ABC likes to paint Israel as the aggressor, but the reality is that Israel is under attack from 7 sides. And yesterday, on a sacred day, on the anniversary of October 7, there was a barrage of rocket attacks against Israel in the north, in the south, and even in central Israel on Tel Aviv. We were at the memorial ceremony. This was a people's event. There were no politicians speaking. It was organised by the families whose loved ones had been killed a year ago. It was a peaceful event. As it was getting started, I was interviewing, as you just saw there, a father who lost 4 members of his family on October 7. We were doing that interview, and then the air raids sounded. We had to get to the ground, and it turned out that it was a surface missile from Yemen that was thankfully intercepted by the Iron Dome. But, Chris, if it wasn't for Israel's defence system, the death toll would be high because it is constantly under attack from terrorists, and it's something that the international community, the left-wing politicians, and, of course, the ABC just refuse to recognise.
Yeah, just terrible and needs to be dealt with. Now, you've been sharing with us some fascinating insights. I know you'll have more at 8 o'clock. And look, there are so many people who have been affected by October the 7th. There are so many tragic victims. But I have tended to focus across the last year a lot in my mind, so often, on the Bibas family, Sharri Bibas and her 2 little boys. The idea that terrorists would take a mother and 2 young boys, one of them just a baby, hostage, I find it just inconceivable. Now, we don't know whether they're alive or dead a year on now, but I believe one of your interviews tonight, you've caught up with a family member. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Chris, like you, this family has just captured my heart over the past year. I agree, it is utterly horrifying that a terrorist organisation, that anyone could think it's okay to take a 9-month-old baby hostage. Baby Kafir was the world's youngest hostage, 9 months old. His brother just 4 when they were taken into captivity. If baby Kafir is alive, he would have had his first birthday in the tunnels underneath Gaza. It's disgusting. Where is the international outrage over this? Where's the Red Cross about this? Where's the United Nations about this? They don't seem to care. Last night at that event, I spoke with a family member, an uncle of the family. He was so angry at the lack of attention from the likes of the international community, the world, on baby Kafir, on his brother Ariel. And so I've got that interview coming up at 8 o'clock. If you have a grab from them, Chris, I'm happy to show it right now on your show.
We have a snippet now. Let's have a look.
Do you believe they're still alive?
I just can hope so, because we all saw what happened in the tunnels, that are not eating, that are not vaccinated, have no condition to live there. I'm hopefully praying that will be all right.
Just unimaginable, Sharri. Now, I know you have a lot more for us at 8 o'clock. I wonder if you can just briefly give me a sense of this question. With Israel fighting on so many fronts and talk of possibly a full-on war with Iran, how tested are its defence forces? Does it have a lot of reservists it's already called up?
Look, there is a lot of fatigue in the Defence Forces, certainly. A lot of families speak about how their sons have been in the army for a year now. There's quite a bit of controversy around the fact that Orthodox Jews here don't have to go into the army. That's been a big political sore point. But they give a voluntary option now for older people, men in their 40s, to come and join, because they do need people to defend Israel, and not just Israel, but Western civilization. And on the whole, Israelis are happy to serve. They're happy to fight. everyone here. And in fact, many Australian Jews have even come over here to fight for Israel. And I think, Chris, I've got to say, these are among the most courageous people, these young men and women, for example, going into Lebanon, having to come face to face with Hezbollah terrorists. They're doing this, they're fighting this to ensure the survival of the Jewish state. To me, there's nothing more brave or extraordinary.